it's probably no secret to you, but Land Cruisers are crazy expensive. I've been seeing 100 Series Land Cruisers for $20, $25, even $30,000 plus. But what if you want to spend a little bit less than that? Like under 20, or under 15, or under 10, or under 5, or under $2,000. How much Land Cruiser can you buy? Well, my buddy Chase, how's it going, buddy?
Good, how are you?
He has gone out and bought the cheapest Land Cruiser in the country.
I think so.
It's under $2,000, right?
Yes, 1,500 bucks.
Now in this video, we're gonna show you how much Land Cruiser can you buy for $1,500. So Chase, what's the story with this Land Cruiser? How did you find it?
I've got a buddy here who runs Spartan Towing in Berthoud, and this thing was wrecked about 2 to 3 years ago. Hasn't been running since, and they were thinking about parting it out or rebuilding it, doing something along the lines of that. They didn't end up doing that, and so I came and picked it up, and here we are now.
So this was a theft recovery, I think they were telling me.
Yeah, theft recovery. It was stolen. It was crashed into a ditch, obviously. You know, the front bumper got ripped off, fender dented, hood a little bit kinked. But otherwise, it seems to be in pretty good shape. Sat for the 2 to 3 years. The transponder was ripped off when the thief was yanked out of the car, so they weren't able to start it since then. This morning we had Papa Lock come down from Fort Collins area and reprogram 2 keys for 500 bucks. Put a new battery in it, and it fired right up.
Well, let's take a look at it. So obviously, it looks like the extent of the damage is on the driver's side, because the passenger side looks pretty good.
Yeah, passenger side looks good. Obviously, the headlight and the little bezel here is kind of knocked off, so probably just replace both of them at the same time. The front crash bar did take a little bit of damage, but I think an ARB bumper would fix that no problem. May not even mess with the grille. Just pull this out and find a new fender for it.
What about that brown gold?
Yeah,
at
so
the bottom?
when it went into the ditch, the motor mounts gave out enough, and the engine did hit the cross member and the steering rack. So there is a small pinhole in the upper oil pan. So I will need to order one of those and replace it. Which, you know, these often have leaks in the upper oil pans anyway, so it probably is worth doing at 280,000 miles. Otherwise, everything seems to work. 4-wheel drive works, center diff lock works. The rear diff was having a hard time engaging, but it did end up engaging. So it just seems like everything needs to be used and kind of relubed.
So Chase, you work at a 4-wheel drive shop. You do all sorts of custom builds.
Correct.
When you see a vehicle like this, are you concerned at all that maybe it has frame damage or it's going to be like a total write-off?
No. Yes and no. Just depends. Obviously, you can look at it and get under it. It's always hard to find a tweaked frame on something that's this old and has a lot of dirt on it, so it needs to be cleaned off. As far as the front goes here, it just looks like the crash bar got kind of bent in here. The frame horns still look fine. A lot of the times when we'll do ARB bumpers or aftermarket bumpers, we'll trim this down a little bit to get the fitment better. So, you know, all that stuff is going to come off anyway, and if I need to weld or make a bracket for it, at 1,500 bucks, I think it's worth it regardless.
How much do you think it's going to cost to do the front bumper, to do the fender, to get it back up on the road? Considering
it's a Land Cruiser, parts aren't as cheap as other Toyotas. I'm assuming a fender used is probably going to be anywhere from $250 to $500, depending on the paint condition. The headlights are also probably going to be anywhere from $500 to $800 for a used set, and then an ARB bumper is around $800 to $1,000. Okay. So, you know, give or take $3,000 to $4,000, including the oil pan, to get everything sorted. I think is fairly reasonable. And then the rear door also has a broken quarter window here. So I think that this window here may be a little hard to source. I don't know that your local glass guys will have this, so I may need to go to a junkyard and pull this out and then have it resealed. Otherwise, on the body, you know, there's some dings and dents and rust, but I don't plan to repair any of that stuff.
Now, it looks like it's got a little bit of a lift on it too, right?
Correct, yeah, it has the 2-inch Old Man Emu lift, so I'm assuming it already had the hydraulic suspension replaced and put in who knows how long ago, but bouncing on everything, it doesn't seem like it's blown out, and I think it looks fine like this. With 33s, it'll probably do just fine.
Now here's a big question, being a theft recovery, have you taken a look at the inside?
Yes, it's rough. It's very, very rough. I haven't cleaned anything out for your enjoyment. There's an old pack of Marlboro cigarettes in the door here. Obviously some tears in the seats and junk and dirt. On the other side, there's a pipe. Don't know what he used that for, but there's a lot of crap and junk also in the back. And I don't even know if it's related to this vehicle, but it is here.
So when they crashed it in the ditch, were they nice enough to save the running boards? Did they?
I don't even know if those go to this vehicle, to be honest with you. They don't look like it, but he was also a thief, so he might have just collected anything that he could find.
Well, we've got a purse and we've got underwear. You may have already made your money back if there's anything in the purse. Oh no! Apparently the thief took it with him.
Nope. It's a furla.
Whatever that
sure.
Now I do have some bad news for you, Chase. When we did our Land Cruiser, Just the rearview mirror was $800.
Yep, and especially with today's prices, I'm sure it's going to be even worse.
Let's see if maybe there's some cash in there. No.
Nope.
No, That's a nice Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
That's probably going to
cash.
go to Goodwill.
So,
The dumpster.
Chase, when you buy this vehicle, does this have a salvage title with it?
No, has a clean title.
Oh, really?
Yep. So since the previous owner, they owned it outright. They were essentially given all the cash for the vehicle, and then it came here, and he had just went ahead and signed the title over to the towing company because they didn't want a stolen vehicle. So insurance never got to.
That's a sippy pipe.
Yeah.
A sippy
a
cup.
sippy cup.
Is that a sippy cup for your 1.5-year-old?
Yeah.
Why this? I think, hey, come on, Chase, you know what to do with this. Come on, Tommy. We know what this is for. How handy. Oh my God, how handy is this? Hold on.
I'll open the garbage.
Yeah, here.
Right in there. I'm gonna try and seal the hole in the oil pan here, so we don't get your trailer too dirty.
Is it a noticeable hole?
Yeah, it's fairly
Just a
noticeable.
crack. So let's see how a 280,000 mile Land Cruiser runs. That's crazy.
Pretty good for sitting for 2 years.
Any warning lights, like airbag warning or?
No. Wow. There. So yeah, everything seems to.
Insane. Straighten it out and sweet. Looking good. So Chase is selling a really cool car. I actually just did a profile on one of these pretty recently. This is an LS 400, right?
Correct.
Not a 430. What year is this thing?
1998.
And it's for sale, so if you are into these old LSs, which you should be because they're awesome, you can send me an email, TFLClassics@gmail, and we'll get you in contact with Chase.
You like towing? How much do you think we're towing? What do you think that Land Cruiser weighs?
It's probably 5, right? And then the trailer's 3, so about 8,000 pounds.
Does the Cummins care?
Oh, it's completely effortless. So this is an absolute beast of a towing rig. I think this is rated at like nearly 21K. So we are nowhere near this trailer's maximum capacity. But yeah, it just absolutely cruises. No wiggle, no stability issues. It's fantastic.
You mean the truck's maximum capacity, not the trailer?
Or the truck's maximum
Yeah.
capacity. Yeah, but no, it's great. I really like towing with the Cummins. It makes a great noise. It's got the exhaust brake, which is pretty fun. It's just an all-around great vehicle.
Hey Tom, you know, I just thought of something. You're gonna get to go tow up, well, actually down the Ike.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to tow through the Rocky Mountains as well. So we've got some big climbs to do up to 9, 10, 11,000 feet above sea level. So it's going to be not necessarily a good test for the Cummins, but it certainly will be a little bit interesting.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking that part where you go pretty much straight up past Georgetown might actually even be steeper than the Ike Gauntlet.
Yeah, it's very steep, and typically trucks do like 30 or 35 up there. So we'll see how the Cummins does in that section. All right, well, you joined me on the highway now. It is May 20-something here, and take a look out the window. It is thoroughly snowing. We actually got like 4 inches on the Front Range where we live outside of Denver, and up here in the high country, I've heard something like 14 and in some instances 20 inches of snow at the end of May. But this is a really steep grade coming out of Georgetown. My dad used to tell me when he went to school down here in the 1980s, your typical K car would do like 45, 50 up this hill. And now in 2022, towing, what, 10,000 pounds, 8,000 pounds with this Cummins, we are holding 60 miles an hour, absolutely no problem. We are revving at 1,800 RPM. This is an insanely steep grade. We still see semis regularly doing, you know, 35, 40 up here. But yeah, 23 pounds of boost pressure, holding steady, 1,800 RPM, 60 miles an hour. Nothing's overheating, and I've got plenty of pedal left if I wanted to go faster. That's how incredible these new trucks have gotten. Of course, we are well within the towing capacity of this rig, but it really is a good truck. We made it to the Eisenhower Tunnel, way up here in the Colorado Rocky Mountains, and now we are going down the Ike Gauntlet, which is our legendary towing test. So 8 miles at a 7.5% grade. Let's see how the grade shifting is in this truck. So I've got the exhaust brake on, and that is a cool sensation. Now, I don't do a ton of towing, although when I do towing, it's with half-ton trucks towing vehicles. And this is my first time actually towing with an HD truck. and a diesel HD truck at that, because of course Andre is our truck and towing guy, and this has been such an incredible experience. It really puts in perspective how having that additional capability, even if you are well within its limits, has a greater impact on the amount of comfort you have driving over long distances. This has just been the least stressful towing experience I've ever had. It's got so much power. We are going down this insanely steep grade. I haven't touched the brake once, so we're holding 60 miles an hour. The exhaust brake is cruising along at, what does it say, 139 horsepower. And it's actually slowing me down, so I'm gonna have to apply some accelerator.
Does it have an exhaust brake?
Yeah, Chase, I was just talking about that. It does. All right, made it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, dude. This was fun.
Where's that?
Oh yeah, I'll take that from you. So what do you think? Are you happy with the Land Cruiser?
Awesome, man. I'm excited to get going on it. I think a few weeks and I'll have it pretty much ready, other than that oil pan. That oil pan is 4 weeks out.
Back ordered.
Yeah, back ordered.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to send us pictures when
I
you
will,
get it running, and
sure.
maybe bring it by the ranch. We'll do some fun stuff with it.
We will.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
for watching. Appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.